Hi everyone. So, this topic is about underwriting of shares. So, let us start with our topic. So, let us assume that there is a company called as a private limited company and it is a new company. So, whenever a new company is formed, they need a money to invest. So, that money is in a form by issuing the shares to the public. So whenever a company issues a share to the public, it is known as initial public offering or in short IPO. So a company has two choices whenever they want to issue the shares to the company. So the first option that is available for the company is to issue the shares directly to the people and the next one through the underwriter. So now let us assume that a private limited company wants to issue 50,000 of shares. So now let us assume they are issuing at 10 rupees each. Now, now let us assume that the company is going directly and convincing the people and making them to subscribe the share. So now there is a risk involved in this. So what is the risk? So the first risk is non-subscription of share. So the company may think have no good reputation in the society, and on what basis does the public will subscribe to my shares? And what if my shares have not subscribed? If the shares are not subscribed, then it will be said as a non-subscription of share. And one more thing, that is the Companies Act 2013 lays down a rules and regulations stating that if your share has below 90%, if it has subscribed below 90%, then whatever the shares you have received, all should be refunded. So let us assume the company has gone into IPO and tried to convince 50,000 and among this 50,000, only 20% of the shares has been subscribed by the people. Then whatever the 20% amount has been raised from the public, that amount should be refunded. And they are also stating that the shares issued within 120 days should be subscribed. If it is more than 121 days, then the amount also should be refunded. Again, let us assume that the company has taken 121 days to convince the people and make them subscribe the share. Then all the amount should be refunded. Why? The rule is it should only be 120 days. So now I told you the next option is to go to the underwriter. So let us assume that the company has set a person named as X and Y to take care of convincing the people, and the X agreed that okay, I am going to convince people and I will make them to subscribe for 25,000 shares. And Y also said that I am also going to try to convince the people and I will also make the people to subscribe for 25,000. I would like to tell you one thing. See, this person named as X and Y can be a bank, can be a joint stock company, can be a partnership firm, or it can be any financial institution. Remember, these persons can be any banks or joint stock company or a firm or a partnership firm or any financial institution. So now coming back to this, the person X is saying that I will bear the risk and try to convince the people and make them to subscribe for this sale. He is guaranteeing the company that if if any of the shares has not been subscribed by the people, then I will only take that. So let us assume out of 25,000, X has tried to convince only for 20,000. So the remaining 5,000 X will only take. He is guaranteeing the company. So now, on what basis does the person work? Can they work free? Of course no. So a company has to give a commission to these financial institutions. Again, the Companies Act 2013 laid down a rule. The commission for shares should be 5% and for debentures it should be 2.5%. And I hope that you all know what is the difference between the share and debenture and how the company will issue the share and on what basis the debentures will be issued. And I also hope that you know how the stock market will function. If not, don't worry. Let me know in the comment section below and I'll post a separate video on this. So coming to this topic back. So there's two person, X and Y. Any financial institution, whoever take the risk of convincing the people. So these people is known as underwriters. So now I hope you know what is the meaning of the underwriter. Who is an underwriter? An underwriter is a person or any financial institutions or a bank or a joint stock company or a firm. They take up the risk for convincing the people and they are also guaranteeing that I will make to convince the people and subscribe for these shares. Now, I told you that the company wants to issue 50,000 shares and the person X has agreed to try to convince for 25,000 and Y has agreed to try to convince 25,000 and make this a subscription. Now, let us see what has happened. Let us see that what has happened. So let us assume that a company has got a subscription for 35,000 shares. Now the company wants to know how much X has tried to convince the people and how much the Y has tried to convince the people. Now there is a problem of identifying how many shares was being subscribed by these two. So in order to identify this, a person X and Y, whenever he issue an application to the company, he will put a signature. They will put a signature and they will affix the stamp. So this is known as a marked application. So what is a marked application? So in order to identify how much the X and Y has tried to convince the people and make them to subscribe this share, it is necessary for the company to identify this. So in order to identify this, the X will put a signature on whatever the application he will send it to the company and the Y will also do the same. So with this basics, the company will come to know how much sales they have tried to convince. On that basis only, the company will give the commissions to this person. Now, let us assume that A has tried to convince people and he has made to made the people to subscribe for 20,000 shares and Y had to made the public to subscribe for 1.5 that is 15,000 shares. Now I also told you in the beginning itself the company can directly go to convince the people. So if they go directly to convince the people, then it is known as an unmarked application. So it is like the company is not believing any of the underwriters and they think that they have a very good reputation in the market, in the society. So I can directly go to the public and if I ask them to subscribe for the shares, they will definitely do. And whatever collect the application by going directly is known as an unmarked application. So now coming back to this point, I told you this. X has tried to convince and made people to subscribe for 20,000. So he has taken a risk of 25,000. So what is remaining? 5,000 is remaining. And again, why has convinced people to subscribe for 15,000? So again, he has taken a risk of 25,000, but he has made only 15,000. So now what is the remaining? It is 10,000. So whatever the remaining amount, you have to find out. So the main intention of this chapter is to find out what is the balance. So what is the remaining amount? So this chapter is very easy. Trust me, if you know the basis of this, you can just do it like in a second, and it also gives you very good marks. So now, so whatever the remaining amount you have to find out, it is said as net liability. It is said as net liability. So what you have to find in this chapter? We have to find the remaining balance, that is the net liabilities. Now tell me, whatever the remaining balance is there, who will subscribe this? Yes, you are right. This will be subscribed by the person Y, and this will be subscribed by the person X. Very good. So now there are two types of contract, namely normal contract and firm underwriting. So normal contract you have learned it now. So in firm underwriting, what happens is the underwriter will say that I'm very much interested in your company and I will buy all the shares. I will buy all 50,000 of shares and I will not issue to the public. So now in this case, it is known as a firm underwriting. So you have a separate topic on this. So don't worry, we will study it in a later session. So for now, this is the basis and this is the end of the basis. So in the next class, we will start with the problem. And I hope you all got the point. If you have any doubt, then let me know in the comment section below. So thank you so much.